Hi, Mike here. You're watching Scout Restoration Yukon. In this video, I will inspect the front leaf springs for my 1966 International Scout. Then I will remove the rubber bushings and replace them with polyurethane bushings. This is not a how-to video. It's a how I do it video. I hope you like it. Let's get to work. If you want to help, please subscribe to Scout Restoration Yukon. It's free. Mike Morrow, over and out.
Hi, Mike here, Yukon Scout Restoration. In this video, I will remove the rubber bushings from the front leaf springs and replace them with polyurethane bushings. So let's get to work. Note that I'm marking these springs left and right. Removing the shackle bolt.
Luckily, the bolt isn't seized into the bushing.
I've already removed this bushing from the eye of this leaf spring, and I was able to remove the whole thing, the internal sleeve, the external sleeve, and the rubber, all at the same time using a ball joint press. So now I'm going to do the other side. This is the other end of the same spring. I found a 21 millimeter socket seems to be just the right size. Use my ball joint press on the socket. Try to get it lined up as good as I can. Here's the bushing. Just like that, all in one piece. No heating, no cutting torch, no drilling, no sawzall, just a ball joint press. Of course, now I have to get my socket out of the spring. I'm driving the socket out with a brass drift. Voila. This is the spring for the passenger side. I'm going to try doing it this way. That's another one. Came out pretty easy. This is the last one. They're all lined up best I can. Let's try it there. There it is. I will clean the eyes of the spring with the die grinder with a sanding drum. Other end, same thing. I also used the ball joint press to remove the rubber bushings and inserts from the frame at the front of the truck here. I just want to clean that out. That works beautifully. As you can see, these rubbers are not rotten. These springs must have been re-arced. The center bolt looks good. Everything looks good. So what I'm going to do is clean them up and paint them before I put the bushings in. I'm cleaning up the leaf springs with a wire brush on an angle grinder. These are the leaf springs after I've removed the bushings and cleaned up the springs. You can see they've obviously been re-arced.
Once again, I see that time and money have been spent on this Scout in the past.
All of the hardware is in excellent condition.
Obviously, these springs have been professionally re-arced and rebuilt.
Who knows when? Maybe many years ago. This looks like a stamp from a spring shop. The rubber is good. I see no reason to take these spring packs apart or do any further work on them. They are good to go. Once again, I've been lucky with this Scout. I will paint both spring packs before installing the bushings. This is the polyurethane bushing kit for the springs for the Scout. One goes on each side in the eye of the spring. But there's a problem with these bushings. They have a flange. So here's my old bushing there. So I may have to remove a little bit of this flange to get enough clearance to fit inside the bracket on the frame. That remains to be seen. But for the time being, I must install the bushings, the sleeves, right? And these are for the shackle here. These ones are 7/8, and I believe these ones are 1 3/16. The bushings come with a special lubricant. So I must lubricate inside the eye of the spring and the bushing. So let's get to work. I'm lubricating the eye of the spring. See if I can squeeze these in by hand. So they went in very easily. I'm now going to take this spring over to the truck and try to fit it into the bracket because I suspect it's going to be too wide. As I suspected, the bushing is a little wide. I'm cleaning up inside the bracket for the leaf spring with the die grinder. So these bushings are going to be too wide, and the pin will also be too wide. I'm cutting the flange off the bushing with a hacksaw. One side works very well. That's just what the doctor ordered. I'm cutting approximately 3/16 of an inch off the inner sleeve with a zip cut. One more time here. I already put the lubricant. I just have to squeeze these bushings together. Voila. Cut the flanges off. Cut the inner sleeve. I'll now put the shackles on the springs. This is the front right spring. So I will just coat the bolt with Never Seize anti-seize compound to help lubricate it. And it goes from the outside in. The nut goes on the inside of the frame of the truck. So same thing for the other side here. And then the other half of the shackle slips on here and here. Just going to add a flat washer on the inside. And I'll be using nylock nuts on these. Because I don't want to tighten them up. They have to move. I don't want to crank them right up tight. Just barely snug them, and then they can move. Of course, they'll be going like this, up into the upper bushing that's on the frame here. If I tighten these up, I think that'll fit. So I don't think I need to cut this other sleeve. So these are the bushings that go on the bracket in the frame at the front of the truck for the shackle. I'm now lubricating the metal casing where the front bushing goes in for the shackle. Call it an eye. It's the same as the eye on the spring, but it's the casing in the bracket. So now I push that in there. It's just the right length. I'll do the same on the other side. Now I'm lubricating the metal sleeve. That's a nice fit. We'll just go do the other side now.
In conclusion, once again, I got lucky. I have a set of super good springs with new polyurethane bushings. They will last a long time. In my next video, I will restore the tie rod and drag link for the Scout 800. I hope you like it. If you want to help, please subscribe to Scout Restoration Yukon. Mike Morrow, over and out.